Reality and survival. Wow. It does seem like we are faced with a dualistic life, a dualistic perception of life. Really, to me, spirituality is not dualistic. How humans look at spirituality, how humans look at life, is usually dualistic. I think it's important to be aware and not deny, but also realize that actually in reality, spiritually, we are all one. I mean, that makes sense to me. I mean, all great spiritual teachers and writers and illumined beings, write that or talk about that or convey that in the way they are. And it just makes sense to me. I know it's one of those kinds of deep subjects that most people, like, especially in chat rooms, might go, whoa, dude. But it is something to take a look at. I mean, like, for instance, the ego, balance. If we didn't have some sort of ego, attention, we probably wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. A lot of depressed people have very, very low self-esteem, and that, minimalizes their confidence to such the point that the ego just doesn't seem to exist at all, and they can't get even out of bed or whatever, just function in a normal everyday life. But on the other side of that, when the ego is stroked way too much, and that becomes the main focus, and survival is the only focus for some people, then there are obviously some problems. I mean, and I think and there's a whole lot that can be talked about in the context of spirituality and faith and what people believe. But I think if there's a balance, if you really are looking at, trying to understand facts rather than opinions, the best you can. I mean, nobody's perfect, and there's just, it's never ending. I mean, I interviewed Buddy Ebsen before he passed away, the guy that played Jed Clampett and Barnaby Jones, and he was 94 years old, and he told me, after reading his biography and talking to him about his life, which I didn't even talk about The Wizard of Oz all that much, because just about everybody else did. So I talked about other things. All these things he did in his life, from being a championship swimmer when he was a kid to being a dancer and an actor and a musician and a painter and he liked to sail a boat in the ocean. I mean, travel the world. After, he wrote books, and at the end of his life, after all of that, he said, I'm still learning something every day. At 94 years old, after living the life. And that kind of thing has made a profound experience on me, just like, talking to homeless people has myself, that's another video. But anyway, yeah, balance. Keep things in perspective.